All right, we are ready. Everyone is here, plus more. We added a couple extra that were on the list, so I'm glad you guys are here. And we even have some online that are front and center, so I'm glad you're all feel drawn to gentle yoga today. We are going to be gentle today. We're going to focus on our breath at first, and then we'll work into some movements, coordinate that with our breathing, and have a nice relaxation at the end. So my theme for today is something that I've talked about before, but I don't think it ever hurts to hear it again, and it's the fact that we're all co-creators. And this is kind of the theme that I kind of saw happening around me over the weekend. I was just telling you guys, I linked back up with Kate, who's back in the US, who gifted me some tickets that I got to go to a show Friday night. And that was fun and everything. And then Saturday, we went to a different concert, and it was a country concert. And I don't go to many country shows because I'm more of a rock chick, but it was Parker McCollum. And he's a new and uprising kind of country music singer. He's young, he's from Texas. And I guess he played at a Sin back in May, and it was one of those evenings where the thunderstorms rolled in, and there was a lot of mix up about whether the show was canceled or not. And I think half of the people thought it was canceled because they had announced that, but the show ended up going on. Anyway, this was kind of like let's redo the show so that everybody can really come to participate. Well, because it was a redo show, the guitarist that they normally have that play live couldn't do it, so they called Rob. And Rob doesn't play live gigs a lot, but he agreed to do it because he had been the guy on the recording. He had been on the back end recording all the albums with him. So it was actually his guitars that are the signature sound of the album. So he wanted us to go, and we went. We didn't know much about the artist, that, talking about me and my kids, or so we thought. I had heard music around the house, just from learning all the licks again. And so by the time I got to the show, fortunately, I had already heard several songs. It's just a better concert when you actually know the music. And so I was like, oh, I actually know this one. And lo and behold, his daughter is singing almost every freaking song. And I'm like, I didn't think you knew who Parker McCollum was. She goes, I didn't think so either, but I know all these songs. And she was just loving it. And so it was just a lot of fun. But this is what I'm getting to. After the show, we go home. And Rob and I were kind of debriefing out on the deck. And he was talking about his experience from stage, And I thought this was really eye-opening for me. He said, I'm always in the studio recording on the albums. But once the album's done, I'm on to the next artist, and I'm on to the next artist, or doing demos that may or may not even make it, right? So he does it, he's just hired to do that. He doesn't go on tour with them. He doesn't see the final product. He doesn't even necessarily own the album, and he doesn't even know who the fans are. So he was saying, what a cool experience it was. He was like, it was just cool because these were all my guitars. Like even what the rhythm guitarist was playing, that was what I created for the songs. And then he was playing lead guitar, so he was doing his gig, but he was saying it was interesting seeing the stuff that I had created actually had a fan base. And he was like, it was really cool seeing the fans practically wanting to be up on stage with you. And he was like, I never get to see the results of what I created. I feel like I got to meet fans. I got to see their response, to see that they actually liked what I created. And I never thought about that point of view before on his take. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. But anyway, like anybody doing a job day in and day out, no matter how much you love it, no matter how creative you are, and what a great gig it may be, you can get a little jaded. So that moment, that evening was like a moment of inspiration for him, and it filled his cup. He was like, this makes me feel alive again. I want to go back and do more, And we're all co-creating. You don't have to be an artist or a musician. Our life is our masterpiece. And sometimes we don't know what the result of our work is doing because there's a ripple effect, right? Just like he doesn't know unless there's an award one and they let him know, like he doesn't know. But there's lots of things that we do day in and day out that create a ripple effect. We have no idea what we're putting out or what people are receiving, what we've been creating. So it's something to consider and be contemplative about. The last thing I want to say. So even yesterday, there was a student that used to be at Half Moon. He was from Franklin that I knew. She had to quit doing yoga because she has a condition where she can't hinge from her hips. And so she has to be very particular about what she does. But she moved to Nashville and she is now divorced, which is why she moved to Nashville. And I got together with her yesterday and she's creating a whole new life, right? So even though something, what appears to be bad, right? The divorce, the change of identity, the change of location, the change of everything, schools and jobs and community and everything, she's excited because she gets to create the life that she wants now. And she has these amazing ideas about what she wants to do. She just went to school and got the master's degree. Now she wants to go get her PhD because she's always been involved in a lot of volunteer work and a lot of nonprofit work. And she is seeing how the education system in the state of Tennessee is not the best. And she doesn't want it to be politicized the way it is right now, you know, people on the left saying this and people on the right saying this. And so even though she aligns with one party, she's gone down the rabbit hole both. And she says she clearly sees how to fix it. She clearly sees how to resolve the issues. And she wants in. How inspiring is that? She's in her 40s, just got divorced, just got her master's. She's going for a PhD because she wants to be the change that you want to see in the world. So she's starting again. There was a couple other ladies that came in. This was inspiring too. Sorry, I'm going on a little tangent today. But the other two ladies that brought their sons to this get together, because it was really about putting our artsy children together. And then we were just the moms meeting up to, you know, let them meet up, really. But anyway, one of these ladies I started talking to, I never met her before. And she's a freaking judge. And I had to laugh. I was like, you are not a judge in Williamson County. I can tell. I know, because I've been to that courthouse many times. And I think there's just one woman judge, and she is not you. And so she did. She was like, yeah, I work in Nashville. Yeah. Anyway, and I could just tell through conversation like where she was at judge here in Williamson County. Anyway, we were sitting and talking. We didn't really talk about her job until she was talking about how her hits have been killing her lately and how she's gained weight from sitting, you know, listening to everybody's story through the courthouse. Think about it. She's sitting as a judge like for hours and hours a day. Anyway, we got up from our seats to go back inside, and we've been sitting outside for like an hour and a half. And she didn't say anything, but I could tell the way she was moving, she was in a lot of pain. And I'm like, you are in a lot of pain right now, aren't you? She was like, yeah. And I said, I want you to consider something. It's not just all your sitting. Think about your job. You were called to be in this field. You obviously have a heart of compassion that called you to do this. She also had some history that called her to do this job. She loves her job. She's doing well with her job. But think about a courtroom setting. She's hearing all the trash talk. She's getting all the emotions. It's an environment thick with tension and negativity and fighting and trying to prove, right? And then here she is in a position of trying to literally absorb it all, take it all in, and then she's the deciding factor. That's heavy pressure. And she works with domestic violence cases. So imagine the story she's hearing. And guess where it's all showing up? Her hips. The chakra is about relationships, people. I mean, it is like foundation, it is family, it is, adaptability. There's a lot of work, I'm like, oh my goodness, of course it's all showing up here because you're absorbing everyone's emotional stories and it's just trapped in your body. And she was open to hear what I had to say and she's gonna get ready. I'm so excited to try to help her. And then I showed her a thing on the stairs and I'll show you here in case you don't know. So maybe you have some issues with your hips and maybe it's from a sedentary lifestyle. You can do this on stairs or you can even stand on a block. And it's just releasing the iliopsoas. And it's that muscle that creates the flexion here, right? So just dangling and just releasing it. And then you can switch to the other side. So we're not going to do that today. But I do have a short video online if you're ever needing like a reminder how to release the psoas, you can look it up. So we're going to start on our backs. My point in all this was all these different people are creating, and you also are creating. So come down to your back and allow the feet to fan out. Unless you need to bend the knees, of course. And let your hands rest on your belly. Close your eyes. And now that you've taken in these different stories about what people are creating, I want you to consider for a moment what you are in the process of creating. Anything that we're creating is an expression typically of our heart and soul. It's usually expressing our take on life and our vision of the world. And we're going to try to create some inner peace and freedom through this hour together. Feel the ground beneath your body. But also notice the belly rising as you breathe in and falling as you breathe out. Start to focus on the stream of the breath, rolling in and rolling out. Become the chief commander of your breath and attempt to slow it down. And notice as you're breathing in, if you can take the count to 4. And when you're at the top of the in-breath, breathe out to the count of 4. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. In, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to be silent. And if 4 comes easy, I want you to up it to 6. If 6 comes easy, Take it to 8. And if you get 5 or 7, stick with 5 or 7. It doesn't have to be an even number. You're just creating a longer, slower breath. Now that we've been centering and meditating on the breath, we're going to begin some movement. But today, try to stay in coordination with your breath. So slide your feet back and let your feet flatten to the floor. Let your arms spill down alongside your body. And as you inhale, you're going to roll the pelvis forward so you're getting a sway in the lumbar area of your back. And as you exhale, you can push into your feet, send the tailbone towards your heels, and feel your belly suctioning in and your back flattening. And then inhale, tilting the pelvis forward. And then exhale, tilting it the other way. So we're just rolling towards the sits bones as we inhale. And we're flattening the low back, engaging the core on the exhale. So it's a very kind of baby step version of cat-cow. So just cat-cow in the low back. So if you're breathing into 4, 6, or 8, it should take you that long to maneuver into that one position or shape. And then you're following the out breath to a similar count in that alternate position. All right, we're going to start to build this up more. So on your next inhale, you're going to press through the soles of the feet. You're going to circle the arms up overhead, rising into Setu Bandhasana bridge. And as you exhale, you're going to lower back down, bringing the arms along with you, and let the hands and the sacrum touch simultaneously. Inhale, uplifting into bridge. And exhale, rolling down one vertebra at a time. So continue this process with repetition. Do 2 more. Try to stay grounded on the mound of the big toes. So you're activating those inner thighs or innermost quad. Now keep your right knee bent. Inhale, extend the arms overhead and stretch long through your left leg and point your left foot. And as you exhale, arms circle back around and you're gonna hug the left knee towards your belly and chest. We're gonna stay on the left side. Inhale, arm circle overhead, similar to what we just did in bridge. Left leg extends out, toes point, and then exhale, knee to chest. Creating this gentle, easeful movement. Next time you hug the left knee in, sink that foot down to the floor, and then you'll begin the right side. Inhale, arms extend overhead, right leg elongates in front, and then exhale, curling into chest. Staying mindful as you meditate on the breath. So the breath leads and completes each movement. Also, picking up your inner awareness to notice and to observe the difference between the two sides of the body, how the different parts of the body are coordinating or resisting, so that you can see where and how life is showing up in your body. Once we discover this, we know what we need to work with at a personal level. Last one to the right. And then descend the right foot to the floor. Open your arms to the side like a T with your palms turned open. And float your feet up towards the ceiling, waterfall. All right, separate the feet on the exhale to a supine konasana. Inhale, draw the legs back together. And exhale, apanasana, hugging both knees into the chest. Inhale, arms open to the sides, the feet float up in the air. Exhale, separate the legs into a wide V shape. Inhale, draw the feet together. Exhale, knees to chest. Arms can hug them in. Now continue this sequence. Micromanage your breath, because that's the heart of yoga. And if you're breathing well throughout the practice, you'll arrive to the state of yoga where you will be creating that inner peace and freedom that we all desire. All right, once you hug the knees back in, pause here, affirming as you hold. I release all my scattered forces to rise up and away into the sky. When we meditate on the breath, our mind is less scattered. Sink the feet to the floor, slide the legs out, separate the feet wide, like to either corner, and then lift the arms overhead and separate the hands wide, as though you're going towards the corners of the mat. All right, time to open up the hamstrings a little bit. Inhale, lift your left leg and right arm, and then gently release. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Maybe the hand can even tap the toe. Don't worry if it can't. And then release. So the slow, controlled movement will actually work the abdominals more. It'll also work the hip flexors and the quads, even though you're going to feel the stretch most likely more in the hamstrings, the back of the legs. Now, I like keeping my head on the floor here, but sometimes I see people, or I feel inspired to lift my head up. So if you want to lift your head up, you can cross over your midline. And it's like taking yourself into a little twist, working the side obliques. So if you want that additional core work, you can absolutely add it in for these last few. So I'm trying to stay away from a lot of static holds today. Thought we would flow more today. All right, we started with the right
right arm, left leg. So once you go to the right leg, left arm, we can still down and just be here a second in this pose, this star-shaped pose. Feel how much space you're taking up on your mat. And allow yourself to take the space. You are worthy to take up the space. So often we feel like we're unworthy to take up any space. And then let's go ahead and bend the knees and bring the arms down so you can roll to one side and we'll come up. Once you push down in the top hand, you're going to come up to sit. We'll separate the feet again. Tag a hold of your shins with your hands. We're going to do cat cows from this position. As you inhale, you're moving into a back bend. And as you exhale, you're counter stretching with cat stretch. Inhale, the heart drives through the knees, and you open the throat and leads up. And on the exhale, you pull that navel in, you hide the heart away, and you bow the head to the chest. The shoulders crank back as you create your back bend. And you're pushing back into your shoulder blades for the counter stretch. Inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, you can bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to keep ourselves moving in this one too. So on your in-breath, lift the crown of your head up. And as you exhale, you're coming down over the feet. Inhale, you're rocking back to center. Exhale, you're bowing out. Up on the inhale, entering into that stretch on your exhale. So I also like to bring these type of flows into the practice just to remind you guys that anytime the fronts come in, anytime you're feeling maybe arthritic in certain parts of your body, the continuous motion with the breath is actually easier for joints than those long static holds. I know we exercise the joints in the long static holds like in yin, but if you're arthritic in certain places, then it's better for the movement coming in and coming out. Just something to take with you today. But even with the rocking, can't you tell? It's getting better. Maybe you're gaining a little bit more range of motion, or it's not as much sensation. So this time, if you want to hold it briefly, whole body Konasana, and then affirm mentally within. I accept everything that comes my way as an opportunity for more growth. All right, we're going to come up to stand. So when you come up to stand, this is where you're probably going to want some blocks. So if you choose to use them, have them stacked alongside your feet. Plug the feet down into the floor, zip up through your nidra, bring your hands to namaste apart, and look straight up your eyes. All right, inhale, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, palms together and bow down. Inhale, bend the knees, lift up Utkatasana chair. Exhale, lean forward and take the arms to radiate back behind. Inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to smooth that flow. All right, inhale, arms circle wide and up. Exhale, hands together, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana means bend, arms float up alongside your ears. And exhale, lean forward, take the arms back. Inhale, coming up to sit. Exhale, hands to heart. Keep that rolling, inhale. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, Utkatasana chair. Exhale, arms go back. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands up. One more. Inhale. Let it be a moving, breathing meditation. Exhale, hands to heart. This time we're gonna use the blocks. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back. And you're gonna lower the back knee, chin, and top of the foot. I'll give you a moment, because I know some of you have knee pads or blankets you want to use, and that's fine. All right, from here, we're gonna inhale, press into the right foot, lift the arms up. And as we exhale, left hand to the front knee, right hand to the hip as you twist towards the front door. Good, inhale, arms lift, turn back to face the front, and then exhale, you can sink to the pelvic floor and hips and bring the hands down. Good, inhale, bring it up. Exhale, twist to the right.
Which way? Let's go.
Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale, arms lift, draw up to the pelvic floor, up to the navel. Exhale, twist and rotate. Inhale, arms relift. Exhale, one more. Still work, right? You feel it. Exhale, twist right. Inhale up. Exhale. Okay. Rock back into your seat and flip the right toes to face up. Okay, from here, this is a half split. This is going to be our inhale. And as we exhale, we come back to the sole of the foot. Now, if you don't want to use blocks and you're flexible enough, it's okay to let the blocks go. This last one, hold the half split, affirming as you do. I give myself over into the flow of grace. All right, on your next in-breath, go ahead and lift and extend through the breastbone. But as you exhale, you're going to sweep that right arm out and up. Got a little IT band. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Keep it flowing. Inhale. Exhale. And notice if this is, firing up a sensitive area of the body, notice it may shorten your breath. So maybe your count has been at 6 and all of a sudden it shortens to 4. Just stay in command over the breath regardless if it alters. Good, now come back to the sole of the right foot. Curl the back toes under, pluck up that back knee. Hop the back foot forward, a baby step, and then slowly come up to stand. Keep the front knee bent. Okay, have your arms just kind of relaxed beside you. And then as you inhale, push into the right foot, float the arms straight up. And then exhale, lower the arms and lunge to the right knee. Keep the torso vertical. And don't feel like you have to wait for me or your neighbor. Just you and your breath. This time, bring the hands down, wiggle the left toes back. Good, when you're ready, loose the blocks, plant the palms, step to plank. From plank position, sink to your knees, untuck your toes, press back into child's. Inhale, rock up to table. Exhale, curl the toes, take downward facing dog. Inhale, descend to your knees. Exhale, and tuck the toes, press back, Balasana. This is our knee flow. Inhale, table. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, table. Exhale, extended child's pose. Continue. If you forget a step, you can always watch someone or make up something new. You can create your own flow. We're talking about co-creation today. The next time you take child's pose, pause. Your arms can relax down, your fingertips can slightly curl in. You can even provide a headrest if you can't sink to the brow. Soften your jaw, your sensory organs. Come back to feel the bellowing effect of your belly as it rests upon your lap. And affirming as you hold. I release and relax away from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace. Inhale, lift up and rock forward. So the hips are hovering, the heart is rising like a modified up dog. And from modified up dog, you're gonna lower slowly to the realm of the pelvis, to the abdomen, to the chest. Now notice when you lower where your hands are placed. If you are doing up dog properly, they're more at the base of your ribs, closer to your waist. So I want you to slide your hands more up underneath your shoulders and then lower to your forehead. Lift and lengthen the legs. Stretch them back, back, back. So the feet are glued to the floor and your buttocks feels firmed up. As you inhale, lift your head, hands, shoulders, chest, baby cobra. Exhale, descend back. Keep the legs fired up. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. 3 more. Let's build strength in the back, the glutes, as well as the diaphragm muscle. When you're ready, inhale, push up to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now from downward facing dog, we did a few of those back bends. So we need to hold this or create a flow for a counter. So if you want to stay here, you're welcome to. Otherwise, if you want to flow, follow me. Your knees are going to descend, but not actually drop. Keep your belly firm and then exhale back to down dog. Inhale, you're shifting forward like you're about to go to table, but not setting the knees down. And then exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Just a couple more. We did several cobras. And then when you're ready, walking the feet forward towards the hands, peeling the hands up along the way, and folding into Uttanasana. Inhale, coming all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana chair. Exhale, lean forward, arms sweep back. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, just a couple more. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bent knees, arms lift. Exhale, lean forward, arms reach back. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, one more set. Inhale, open the expand. Exhale, close into self for self-study. Inhale, Utkatasana, build some strength. Exhale, lean out, knees down. Inhale, pulling all the way up. Exhale, hands up. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Feel free to use the blocks because we're stepping our right foot back. Then when we step that right foot back, we'll go ahead and dip the back knee to the floor, untap the back toes. Get a moment to find any extra support. Then way down that left foot, pull up through the pelvic floor to draw yourself into Anjaneyasana. And then exhale, twist to the left. Right hand to left knee, left hand to side waist. Inhale, face the front. Exhale, come back down. Right, we're going to continue that. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Up. Exhale, release. Let's go. All right, from here, we're gonna slowly rock it back to that half split. And then the exhale, we're coming back to the soul, half lunge. Again, we're just coasting, rocking back and forth between the two. Next time you take the half split, pause here. Affirm and give myself over to the flow of grace. Inhale, lift the head and the heart. When you're ready, sweep the left arm out and up. Exhale, bring the hand down and look down. And we'll continue that flow. If it's too much to twist, too much for the outer hip, you can hold your half split. Come out of the twist, rock back to the sole of the foot, and they wanna stack the blocks taller, pick up the back knee, hop the back foot forward a baby step, and then slowly come to stand. Find your stability. If your balance is really off, you can offset the right foot more and let your arms hang free. All right, inhale, straighten the leg, flip the arms up. Exhale, lunge the knee and lower the arms. Try to keep the crown of the head facing up towards the ceiling instead of leaning over like this. I'm gonna keep that spine vertical. Sometimes we lean over. But today, I want you to feel your back calf muscles. Couple more. Now bring the hands down. Wiggle the back toes back. Loose the block, stamp the palms, step it into plank. And then we're dropping the knees again. We're gonna be done with the other form of the vinyasa. Stack your wrists below the head of the shoulder bones, your knees under the hips or slightly behind, and then extend your right leg out, plant the foot. Good, sweep the right arm out and up, stargazer. Exhale, take that arm underneath your belly or sideways. And then inhale, the head lifts and the hand rises. And exhale with the thread. Last one. But this time when you bring the hand down, set it below the right shoulder, bring the right knee down and extend your left leg, plant that foot, flip your left palm open and spin to your left. Exhale, thread it underneath your side waist. And then just operate from the breath. This time when you bring that hand down, bring the left knee down, we're gonna come onto our seat and flip the legs out in front. And we're gonna roll down to our back. So if you wanna do core work, your feet can be further out, your belly can draw in, and you can hold the back of your legs, you can keep the palms open. Just casually coming down to the floor. All right, walk your feet in if you roll back. Take your arms out shoulder height. And now just float and hover your feet above your mat. And let your knees rock a few inches over to the left. And then take it over to the right. And so you're just slowly taking it left and right. So go to one side as you breathe in. And go to the opposite side as you breathe out. And eventually, as you do this twist, you're going to send the knees farther over to the left and farther over to the right. You may even roll across the piriformis, that smaller muscle in between the hip and the buttocks. And eventually, after you roll across the piriformis, the knees even go wider than that, to the point where they almost touch the floor, but not quite. And notice how that twist is maneuvering up the spine, moving more into the mid back. Again, don't let it become mechanical. Operate from your breath. And then go ahead and spill the knees over to the left side, like your feet stack. And then start to lower your arms a fraction of the way. So your arms are more like an A-frame style. And then turn your head to the right shoulder if possible. If your right shoulder hovers too much above the earth, it's not going to feel very good. So you don't have to turn the head in that case. If you can turn the head, but it feels uncomfortable turning in this direction, you can always turn it to the left shoulder instead. There's different styles of yoga that approach twist different ways. And so there are yoga lineages that teach to turn the head the same direction in the knees, just like there's other styles that teach to turn it in the opposite direction of the knees. Doesn't matter, you're still gonna stretch this area regardless. If you're like me, and if you have, allergy buildup in your head, or you can hold tension in the base of the skull, sometimes it's even nice to add in the rocking motion with the head. So in other words, you can inhale, bring the chin in line with your chest, and then exhale, turn it back in the direction that was the most comfortable. And again, just going slowly with that. Now everyone bring the head to center, chin in line with the chest. Lift your knees off the floor. Roll them all the way over to the right. Land the feet. And then you can turn the head the opposite direction. And then if you wanted to add in the neck rolls with that, you can. Inhale the chin in line with the chest and exhale the head rotates. Next time you turn your head back to center, roll the knees back to center. Inhale, stretch the legs up overhead. Exhale, separate the feet wide. Inhale, draw the legs together. Exhale, put the knees into your chest. We did this as part of our warm up. And this is going to work as our final gentle inversion. Legs up. Splay apart. Lean back together. And hugging in. A couple more sequences. Hold the knees tucked into the chest. Whenever you arrive here. And I want you to close your eyes and think about what position would be best for your Shavasana. So maybe you feel like, I just want to spill out corpse pose. Perhaps your low back has been a little difficult lately, and you need to maybe try what Denny's doing with the bolster up under the knees. Or you can create Stonehenge But if you've been feeling like your heart needs to open, maybe you're lacking inspiration, maybe you've been feeling lonely or depressed, a heart opening restorative would be great. Putting that bolster under your spine. You may just have a go-to favorite. You may need your hips to open, so recline butterfly can speak to you. Basically, I want you to create what you need today. The desire to create is one of the deepest yearnings of the human heart and soul. And at the end here, I want you to allow the body just to absorb the energy you've generated. Try to allow your mind to stay calm and focused. So that you're cultivating and creating some inner peace and freedom within. If you find that your mind is becoming too active, you can always return to the meditational breath. 4 and up of it to 2 or 3 more.
begin to deepen the flow of our breathing. As you've reinvested in your breath, start to create a little movement somewhere. Maybe it's just flicking the fingers or pointing and flexing the feet. Maybe it's something a little bit more dynamic, like extending out in the morning stretch and curling the knees to the chest. But once you create a little movement, go ahead and motivate yourself to turn to one side to build up to a formal seat. Resting the hands on the lap and the eyelids over the eyes. Tuning in to see how you feel now. Hopefully feeling like you did create some inner peace. Draw your hands together. Remember, everything we think, everything we say, everything we do has a ripple effect. So be conscientious of what you're creating. The ancient text says, watch your words, or watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they lead to your destiny. Light in me honors and bows respectfully to the beautiful light of each of you. So much for joining today. I had such a busy weekend and stayed up late every night that I needed just something simple and flowing, and I hope it served you. Wednesday, when we meet back up, it'll be gentle / restorative. So we'll do a little bit more restorative options on Wednesday. And if you're not aware of, Allison and I have teamed up and we're doing an Awakening Soul Truth. And they're basically conversations regarding anything spiritual and metaphysical. We're ending with affirmations and just a mini meditation. And it's on YouTube. Just like Awakening Soul Truth, you'll find it. And we're putting out our next show tomorrow. They're only about 20 or 30 minutes. But I've had several yoga teachers reach out to me saying they are nerding out on listening to it. So it's what? It's my new treadmill.